All right. My name's Scott. I'm the president and CEO of Geneticure, one of the co-founders. We are taking the long-standing promise of personalized medicine and bringing it into clinical practice. Rather than dipping our toe in the water with a small disease, fortunate for us, our technology is a perfect fit for the largest disease in the clinical setting, which is hypertension or high blood pressure. So this is our team. I'm proud to say I'm a Rochester native, but we're relatively split between the Twin Cities and Rochester. Most of our team came through Mayo in some capacity or another. Some are still here. A little bit more about high blood pressure. It's the largest disease in the U.S., affecting about 80 million Americans, and roughly half of those do not have it under control. And even more surprising is 40% of those taking their prescriptions as prescribed are not under control. The reason is that they're on the wrong drug. So we've all heard that hypertension or high blood pressure is the silent killer and very dangerous. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it's non-symptomatic. It leads to all of these downstream catastrophic events like heart attack and stroke. It's the leading preventable risk factor for death worldwide. And responsible for about approaching 400,000 deaths per year. So the challenge lies in the way that it's treated today in the standard of care, which is a process of trial and error. The clinician generally prescribes the same first drug to all patients, generally a diuretic. They titrate that up to the maximum tolerable dose, and then layer on a second drug, and sometimes ultimately a third drug. This process takes on average about 65 weeks from diagnosis to control and can take even longer. The challenge is that patients will often bail on their therapy and remain uncontrolled until one of those deadly or expensive events happens. So we've discovered a better way, and we've patented this approach, and it's a very unique solution in the field of pharmacogenomics. So what we've done is looked at the functional causes of the disease in the renal system, the heart, and the vascular system. And we've identified the functional genes that are responsible for drug response in those three main classes of drugs: diuretics, vasodilators, and beta blockers. We've also included two genes that regulate drug metabolism, CYP2D6 and CYP2C19, which you see on the top. That's where most of our competitors stop, is on drug metabolism. But the interesting thing with a disease like hypertension is you can have 10, 20-fold the amount of the drug in the bloodstream, but unless you have an appreciation for the drug target, it's ineffective. So what makes us unique? Our team, we have a really robust team of leaders in their field, NIH-funded PhDs, and a couple of not-so-smart entrepreneurs that work really hard. Our science is very unique. This approach that has an appreciation for the integrative physiology is unique to what we're doing. And most importantly, in this world of personalized medicine or precision medicine, unfortunately, most companies approach the market without strong clinical evidence. We have a very robust phase 1 study that we've completed, and we're in the middle of enrolling the largest prospective personalized medicine for high blood pressure ever done. And we believe strongly in supporting all of our technology with clinical evidence and clinical utility. The value proposition here is a great reduction in the cost of care. We estimate in year 1 we have a $20 billion addressable market for high blood pressure alone. We're working on 2 additional disease states as we speak. And the benefit to the healthcare system is a great reduction in cost. So 30% on average we think we can pull out of the healthcare system by eliminating this inefficient process. So that's it, and that's just for our first panel. Like I mentioned, we're working hard and should have a second one with a patent early next year. Yes, sir.
Are you going to have access to the big Mayo Clinic personalized database or genomics database that's being set up and
potentially? So we're exploring relationships with Mayo in a number of different capacities, and that's one of them, on development for future pipeline products. We own all of our IP as Geneticure for hypertension, but there's future collaboration to be had. So we're a tenant at the Mayo Business Accelerator, have taken an investment from Ready, and so on. So that's coming, we hope.
Where are the clinicals been done, and how much capital have you raised so far?
Sure. We just finished a $1 million round. I funded the company through our first clinical study, which was administered through RCRI in the Twin Cities, third party. We did 100 subjects in that study. Then we raised $1 million to drive early adoption. So we're commercializing today as an LDT. And that $1 million will get us through data readouts on our 800 subject study, which is enrolling as we speak. And then we'll raise Series A probably likely after that.
And what's the market here in terms of, is this a direct to patient? Is this billed to payers?
Right. We believe strongly in the clinician being the center of care. So we're post-diagnostic. We're not direct to consumer. We're another clinical decision support tool for the doctor to optimize care. So we believe strongly in that. We return results only to clinicians.
So eventually you'll need to get a code and reimbursement.
Reimbursement, yeah. There's a couple of CPT codes that we can lean on for those drug metabolizing enzymes, CYP2D6, CYP2C19, reimburse about $400-ish, which more than covers the cost of our test. But we are interested in talking to accountable care organizations, payer, provider-owned health plans, those that have an appreciation for the cost of the disease. And then when we finish our second large study, which is head-to-head against the standard of care, we will be seeking our own custom CPT code.